What's going on, guys? Alex here, and huge news today from Yamaha. I'm here in Southern California checking out their latest announcement, a bike we've all been waiting for a very long time. Walking inside to check out the new Yamaha R9. Let's take a look. All right, so here it is. 2025 Yamaha R9, and we've been waiting for this for such a long time. It's been rumored all over the internet, and this is our first glimpse of it. Now, there's a lot that we don't know yet, but looking at the bike, there's a lot we do know. Technical specs aren't out yet, but I'm going to show you around the bike and give you a little peek at everything we can find, everything I've been told so far. And yeah, hopefully this will be coming out right around the corner. We do have price too, which I'll tell you at the end of the video. But first, I just want to give you a little bit of a walk around and show you exactly what the bike looks like from all the angles, get in on some of the details. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this Yamaha R9. Obviously, the R7 was introduced a few years ago now, and it's been selling really well for Yamaha. You know, I love the CP3 motor, so I'm excited to see it in more of a traditional sport bike. And a lot of people were, at least from the comments I was seeing, afraid that this was going to be replacing the R1. I don't think you need to fear that quite yet, because Yamaha just did announce their new R1. So this is a totally new offering. Start up here in the dash area, full digital dash, which looks really nice, very similar to a lot of Yamaha's other products. So you've got different menus and themes you can go through, all kinds of stuff. And that looks really good and colorful. Adjustable KYB forks are going to come standard on this bike. Brembo brakes. See the Brembo calipers down there. And then KYB rear shock with a remote adjuster as well. So good components, it looks like. One of the design elements that's sticking out to me right away are these big winglets up front, which the new R1 just got some big wings up front as well. And you let me know what you think of the wing design. I'm actually digging it so far. 3 colors so far that we know of from looking at some of the videos Yamaha's put together. So obviously you've got this classic Yamaha blue here. Looks like it's also going to launch in an all black and then sort of a heritage white, red, and yellow as well. 890cc CP3 makes 117 horsepower in the MT-09, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what it's going to make in this bike. But this is going to be a bike that's going to perform really well on the track, but obviously on the street as well. Judging by the passenger pegs, it's not set up as a track bike from the factory. And I think this is going to be really popular as a street bike because you just have a ton of usable power and lots of torque out of the CP3 motor, which is something you normally don't get in a fully fared sport bike like this. They are saying the frame is unique to this R9. So even though the frame and the subframe do look similar to some of the other products of the CP3, you can kind of see this curve in right here, which looks to be more dramatic than you get on something like the MT-09. Obviously, I don't have an MT-09 sitting next to this bike right now to compare, but if you look at that from the side, quite a bit more curved. So unique frame, sounding like, for the R9. You have the center-mounted exhaust underneath the bike, just like the MT-09 as well. And then similar to the R7, we've got some running lights on either side, and then a main headlight, which is going to be in that center, what looks like an air duct in the front there. Big tank as well, really long and pretty wide looking tank, it looks like. And I've seen a couple people hop on this bike so far, and it does look pretty roomy. So I think as a street bike, it's going to be, you know, pretty leaned over and aggressive, but you're not going to feel all sorts of cramped up on it. And obviously, if you want to turn this into a race bike, I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of aftermarket support for it. And I'm sure as soon as Yamaha lets us, we're going to get this out on the road and see how it rides. Right now, like I said, they're still working on some of the technical details, some of the specs, finalizing this motorcycle. This is just the reveal of it, so none of us are getting the chance to ride it yet. We're just kind of poking around it a little bit and confirming that it is coming very, very soon. Now, there's a lot we don't know about this bike. We don't know exact power figures and torque figures and whether the tuning's different from, you know, the MT-09 and the Tracer 9 and the XSR 900 that I currently have in my garage. So we don't know a lot of things, but we do know the price, and I'm going to tell you the price right now. $12,500, which I think is going to sell pretty well for Yamaha. In case you're wondering when this R9 is going to be available, Yamaha is saying right now about April 2025. So a little bit of a ways away, but that's going to creep up sooner than we know it. And these are going to be hitting dealers real soon. I'm also curious to see where else this engine might end up. So if you look at like the CP2 engine that Yamaha has, obviously MT-07 is probably the most popular, recognizable one. Also the T7, the Tenere 700. Yamaha does a lot of engine sharing. This CP3 before today was previously in the MT-09, obviously, the XSR 900 that I own, and also the Tracer 9, but it'd be interesting to see, maybe they'll put this into an adventure bike, this motor too, and make like a T9. So we'll just have to wait and see where else this might end up. But for now, this R9 looks really promising, and I think Yamaha's got a real winner here. I'm liking the way it looks. We pretty much expected what we're seeing here is, you know, a sporty chassis, fully faired bodywork, and a super torquey, fun CP3 motor. So yeah, excited to get some seat time on it, and I think this bike is going to sell super well. Really excited to finally show this bike off to you guys. You guys have been commenting about this for a really long time. It's been rumored for so long. We've kind of known this is coming, and that's honestly been a little bit of a running joke here at this event, is they were pretty secretive with what this bike actually was when they flew me out here. They didn't tell me what it was, but let's be real, we all knew exactly what this bike was. Really exciting day for all of us motorcycle enthusiasts though, and especially me. I've said this in like every CP3 Yamaha video I've done, that it's one of my favorite motors available. I've owned a couple of them. I think I've owned 3 of them now at this point. This might end up being the 4th, because I love a bike that can, you know, double duty on the street and also be a really, really fun track weapon. And with all the torque in this bike, it's going to be pretty good. Like I mentioned earlier, no specs, but the MT-09 makes 117 horsepower, which pretty similar to the R6. The R6 obviously discontinued a couple of years ago, but power figures are really similar to the R6 in the CP3 engine. Torque, though, is a different story. So the MT-09 makes 69 foot-pounds of torque, whereas the R6 only made 42. And 69 foot-pounds of torque for a street bike is super, super usable. The R6, which I've also owned, really, really likes to be revved out, and it's hard to use all that power on the street, but in a bike like this, it's going to be a lot easier. What's really cool to see too is all the excitement coming out of this event specifically, because everybody here is, for the most part, an expert motorcycle rider. I'm like one of the least experienced ones here probably, and yeah, everyone eats, sleeps, breathes motorcycles. Most of the people here, you know, reviewing motorcycles is their full-time job, and everyone is just so excited that this is finally being announced to the public and, you know, finally making a debut, which says a lot. The fact that all these motorcycle journalists that get the opportunity to touch every single manufacturer and every model that is available in the US here, all these guys are excited about it. I think that kind of speaks to what Yamaha has here as a product and how well it's going to sell. So I'm really excited for this to come to the market, and I'm really excited to get some more details on it. Anyway, I'm going to peek back at this video when I do actually get the chance to ride this bike. So comment section below, that's your opportunity to ask questions, and let me know what you want to know about this bike, because I'm sure it's not going to be too long until I get some seat time on it and can start answering some of those questions for you. Super huge day. People have been waiting for this for 4 or 5 years, it seems like. And I think you're going to see a lot of these on the road, because I see R7s all the time. This is a natural progression from the R7 for those people that just want a little more power. And I think it's going to be super popular at the racetrack as a track day bike. We'll see how, you know, some rules get adjusted, what racing classes are there for actual racing, but a guy like me who does casual track days all the time, this would be such a good machine for that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this look at the new 2025 Yamaha R9. I was super stoked to check it out. I'm sure you could tell And we'll just have more info coming as soon as it's available. But there's your first look. Thanks for watching. Check out alltfl.com, and I'll catch you in the next video.